morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk to you about how immersive technology impacts workforce success. So what I'm going to do today in this presentation is give you a little bit of information about the Raymond Corporation itself and how we've implemented virtual reality technology, share with you some of our findings, some of our lessons learned, and then at the end I can certainly answer any questions you have as well. So I hope you're excited to be here. I'm very excited. So again, I've just introduced myself and they've done a lovely job, and I just want to talk briefly about the Raymond Corporation and what we do. And to do so, I'm actually going to skip over to a short video that's going to introduce our product, okay? So it's going to give you a little bit of an idea, again, of how we've implemented virtual reality in our workforce and in our environment. So just watch here for just a couple minutes.
In today's economy, time is of the essence, and every second counts. To keep up with demand, you've got to be sharp, confident, and skilled, because there's little margin for error. Introducing Raymond Virtual Reality Learning, taking your warehouse into the future. Imagine learning on actual trucks in a virtual environment. Raymond Virtual Learning, designed to improve skills, build confidence, and improve efficiency, with immediate response feedback, engaging exercises, and up to 15 instructional modules. Virtual learning can take your business to a new level. Today's economy calls for operations that meet rapidly increasing demand. To run better, you need a workforce that is constantly evolving, adapting, and improving. With Raymond Virtual Reality Learning, you can make it happen. Isn't it time you made virtual learning your reality?
So that video gave you a little bit of a clue as to what we do at Raymond. And the Raymond Corporation, for over 95 years, we've been building electric forklifts. So we are a provider of electric forklifts and material handling equipment. It's a little hard to read there, sorry about that. But over the course of the last 10 years or so, our business has really started to evolve. You'll see today, if you stop by our booth later at the show, we've got our virtual reality product here. But we also dabble in things such as automation and robotics, and as well as telematics. We have a great solution for our customers. So over the course of 10 years, we've really become more than just a material handling company. We've become a business that supports software. We support big data and analytics for our customers. And now we also do virtual reality training experiences for those individuals as well. So today I'm going to talk to you about what was the reason behind why we started to explore this opportunity with virtual reality. So over the course of 3 years or so, we started to look at, what were some of the challenges that our customers are having? And the things you'll see here are some things like increased customer demand. So our business, material handling, is really impacted by e-commerce. So when you place an order, you want your product immediately, and most likely our product touches that. So it's really important that we could help our customers meet increased demand. We also know that there's a huge labor gap. So there's a shortage of qualified workers that could fill positions or use material handling equipment. So I'll talk a little bit more about this later on, but there's a very specific requirement for operators, which is required by OSHA, that they have to go through a very specific operator certification program. So we'll talk a little bit about how this product works within that program itself. And then attracting and retaining employees. So we were looking at our customers and they were saying, we know that there's this shortage of people coming in. It's really hard to get those applicants, and it's a really competitive workforce. We wanted to help our customers, meet these challenges head on. So we developed, with the help of a really great partner, Free Range XR, who's here today as well, we developed a beautiful virtual reality product that helped our customers meet these needs and meet these demands, These are just some statistics I like to share with you because this really drives our business. This is very focused on manufacturing jobs. So we know that there's approximately 4.6 million jobs available today. We also know that only about 2.2 million of those jobs are likely to be filled between now and 2025. So again, we know that there's a serious skills gap. We see that baby boomers are retiring, enjoying their retirement, and we see all of those millennials coming into the workforce. So we really needed to, ramp up the game here and find some innovative way to get those applicants into our business and to get them excited about material handling. And I also put a statistic there. It's expected that e-commerce is going to increase $1.7 trillion by 2021. Again, e-commerce is such a driving force for our business and for our customers. And it's really interesting, walking around this show, I will say this is our first time here at AWE, and it's been an amazing experience. We've been involved in a lot of unique shows this year because of this technology. And it's really exciting to walk around and see all of the different types of enterprise technologies and really see that this is starting to become a very important thing for customers like ourselves or for our customers in material handling or manufacturing. So it's been very exciting to see the ways that we're using these technologies and implementing them and to see that people are getting excited about it. Like I said before, in 95 years we've built forklifts and now we're being recognized as one of Fast Company's most innovative companies for AR, VR. So we're really starting to change the way we do business and come into this community of augmented and virtual reality. And these are really the driving forces behind why we needed to do that. So what are the benefits of virtual reality? Some of the things that I'm sure if you've worked with the products before or you work in virtual reality spaces, you know that we can do a really neat thing here with standardizing training. So we can go through and throughout our program, if you stop by later today, you'll see this a little bit more, but we can go through and we can actually create a series of lessons and we can standardize the way our operators are learning. So every single operator is going to get the same experience. Every single user in virtual reality gets the same experience. Within our product, we also build in penalties. So kind of like your driving test, if you're going to get your driver's license, you would be rated based on the types of penalties that occur. So things like stopping at the end of aisles or sounding your horn are very important activities in operators. So we really stress the importance of these maneuvers and best practices. And we want to make sure that every single person is getting the best out of their learning. So we can take away some of those bad behaviors. We can also recognize some of those bad behaviors. We found that virtual reality actually works out to be a really interesting pre-screening tool for our business. So as I go to customer sites and I talk through, all of these benefits, a lot of the times they're seeing that applicants are coming in and suggesting that they have some sort of experience. Well, this is a great way for us to see what that experience is like. I'm not here to sell our product to you, but just to talk about some of the features of the product. It's the only one of its kind to work on a physical forklift. So the operator actually gets to stand in that compartment and feel those controls and use their hands to interact with the machine as they typically would every day. So it's a great advantage for them to become comfortable, but we can also see just by body language or the way that they're using those controls or the way that they're responding to the vehicle, we can see, do they have that experience? If they're able to pass the lessons that we put in front of them, we can tell right away that there is some sort of aptitude to drive, and we can typically tell, yes, they do have experience. They've definitely been on our machine before. They know those controls. They know the proper ways of operating. So it's a really exciting opportunity for our customers to pre-screen somebody before they actually put them on the real piece of equipment. One of the interesting things today that we also experience with this is we offer a product called an order picker, which is a man-up forklift. It actually elevates at height. And so there's a case study we have on our website. One of our customers that implemented this technology had some issues where they were hiring applicants that were supposed to operate these order pickers, and come to find out these applicants were actually afraid of heights. And if you have ever been on an order picker, if you come over and try it, you'll see these trucks do work at heights, sometimes 30 to 40 feet. And so if somebody is afraid of heights, it may not be the best fit for them. So we're able to go through and put that person in the lesson environment, take them up to height, and gauge their reaction. I can tell by their body language. I can tell in some cases they use some expletives because they get up there and they're a little bit panicked about the experience. But we can certainly see if they are afraid of heights, we can gauge that reaction and say, okay, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. And we can find another position for them. Throughout my research of virtual reality, I've also seen, and I've seen this with our product, that we can actually help to increase retention of information. So just to give you a quick glimpse into what OSHA requires 3 steps to training a certified forklift operator. The first one being a lecture-based or classroom portion. It can also be done online through e-learning products. The second is a practical environment. So what we were seeing before virtual reality was the operator was supposed to go out in the environment and actually use the forklift without potentially any experience. So they were then, out in this anxious environment with other operators and lots of sounds, and it's a 7,000-pound piece of equipment. So as you know, there's probably some anxiety associated with that. So how do we know that we're really getting through to them the benefits or the best practices of operating? It's a high anxiety environment. We have seen that virtual reality can actually help to increase some of that retention of information. I've seen studies support up to 80% increase, whereas applicants, or traditionally, somebody might only remember about 20%. So when I sit here and talk to you today, I always joke, you'll probably remember about 20% that I say, but using VR with that hands-on application, we can see that increase in retention up to 80%. So it's a great way for them to have practical hands-on training and become comfortable and confident on the forklift. So again, our application is very specific, but it's a great way to use virtual reality in a training environment. As I was doing research, as I said, we've been developing VR for about 3 years, and again, we've got a wonderful partner that we work with. I started to look at other businesses and the way that they were using VR. How could we take their lessons learned and their information and put it into our application? So some of these things I think are actually here on the show floor. So Lincoln Electric and their welding simulation. The gentleman before me was just talking about medical use cases with VR. We've seen law enforcement. I always share a story. My fiance is in law enforcement, and it makes me feel really good that he gets to go train in VR on really hostile situations versus actually experiencing them in real life. You'll see our forklift simulator as well, construction equipment or heavy machinery. So there's lots of use cases that we've seen. One of the things I always talk about, our company's based in Binghamton, New York, and I was doing some research a few years ago and saw that one of the first simulators was actually built by a company, EA Link, in 1929. So we know that simulation's been being used for a long, long time in a lot of different applications, specifically, with our airline pilots. And they're able to train in really high, intense situations. So some of my research has shown, we can train on emergency scenarios. So if you're performing surgery on somebody's heart, you might know a little bit some of those things to avoid. If we're driving a forklift, we can better prepare our operators to avoid incidents, right? So we can prevent damage potentially or emergency situations, teaching them how to react and respond. The same with our law enforcement as well. And there's a really great study that I often refer to with Lincoln Electric. They partnered with Iowa State University, and they saw some really great outcomes with time savings as well as cost savings using virtual reality. Those are things that we obviously are working towards with our own product, getting some of those benchmarks and great indicators for our customers. But overall, we've seen a lot of great research produce really excellent results in retention. So what I'd like to do next is just share with you a little bit about what we see as the future of enterprise. And you might notice I didn't just put VR there, I put XR. We at Raymond have definitely been spending some time looking into some really unique technologies, right? Now that we've got VR under our belt, we've had really great success there. Our customers are very excited about the product. We wanted to see how we can use these technologies in different areas. Some of these we've implemented and we've done some testing with. Technician training is big for us. We have a huge network of technicians in our organization, so ways that we can teach them whether it be using VR or whether maybe there's some augmented reality solutions we can use. They work with their hands, so ideally we'd love to get them to a hands-free solution of tech training. We've done a lot of in-house projects, and we've done some design projects. So we, just like you would design a car, we design forklifts. So we've done some modeling and design, changing around some of the components of our trucks, and we've done that in VR. It was actually a really cool experience. We recently did this with a redesign of one of our models, and our CEO came in and was able to put the headset on and really experience those changes. So what was it going to be like if we raised the compartment up a little bit or, you know, changed the location of a panel? We were able to experience that just because that is such an immersive VR experience. So he was able to see what that would be like from the operator's point of view and really touch and feel those components. So that was a neat experience for us. We've looked at some opportunities with potentially hands-free scanning or location-based AR. And most importantly for our business, integration between business systems. And what I mean by that is, if we take these technologies, we have a lot of moving parts in a warehouse. So we've got warehouse management systems, we've got labor management systems, we've got telematics through iWarehouse. There's any number of systems that are in place within a warehouse. And we really needed to find a way that we can integrate all of these systems together to better support our customers' needs of big data and using these AR and VR technologies. So we are continuing down that roadmap of really looking at the XR opportunities, so looking at your mixed reality devices and looking at your augmented reality devices and seeing how we can apply those within our business. So it's been a very exciting time for us at Raymond, and we're very excited to be here and be invited to events such as these. As I mentioned before, and I want to reiterate, we do have a booth space here in the AWE playground. We've been very busy over the last 2 days. It's been very exciting. So if you have a moment, please come by and visit us at our booth and really try out our experience, because it really resonates well once you actually hop on that truck, try it out, and see what that experience is like. Especially if you're afraid of heights, it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, so it's a lot of fun. So if you have a moment, please stop by and see us today before 3 o'clock. We'd love you to try out our application.